Hi there, it's Cheryl Truesdale, and I'm thrilled that you're here with me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV, your station for inspiration. So today I want to start by sharing something I'm absolutely positive is true about you. Somewhere over the course of your life, you, my friend, have been rejected. And in that disheartening moment, you experience painful, heart-wrenching emotions. For me, it kind of feels like the air is just sucked out of my lungs. And then I get this tingly sensation all over as my body becomes paralyzed at the sound of the words, I don't want to be with you anymore, or I don't like you, or sorry, you just don't have what it takes. And on I could go, reciting the countless times I've been rejected. You know, it seems that no matter how you slice it, rejection is rough. And it's also an inescapable fact of life, and how you deal with it directly impacts the quality of your life. Which is why in today's video, I'm going to share 2 ways to transcend rejection that empowers you to bounce back and keep your life moving forward after you've been rejected. Well, because I'm a rather curious creature by nature, I decided to investigate to find out why the heck getting rejected hurts so much, and if there's anything we can do to minimize the horrible pain. Turns out there is tons of research that explains the physiological basis for the pain we feel when we get rejected, and I also came across some studies that show how being rejected triggers the same pathways in our brain that are activated when we feel physical pain. Who knew? Turns out that according to our brains, being rejected and physical pain are very closely related. And this is why getting rejected hurts so much. Now, let me share a little insight that I had once I discovered this. Let's say you stub your toe. Your brain registers that as painful, doesn't it? And it hurts a lot. Okay, let's say you get rejected. Your brain also registers that as pain and says, ouch! Well, here's the thing that kind of was tripping me up. How come the pain of stubbing my toe seems so short-lived in comparison to the pain I feel when I get rejected? And here's a theory I come up with. See if you don't agree. When I stub my toe, I become real cautious and careful not to stub my toe again so I don't feel any more pain. Yet, when I get rejected, man, can I rehash that bad boy over and over and over again in my mind, and all that does is produce more and more emotional pain. So maybe the lesson here is this. Just like you protect yourself from feeling any more pain by being careful not to stub your toe again, you should also protect yourself by refusing to rehash being rejected over and over again in your mind. Just something to think about. Do you now see why it is so important that you have effective methods you can use to cope with your rejection? Well, I just happen to have 2 healthy options you can try the next time you're rejected. One of them gives you the stamina and the endurance you need to quickly bounce back, and the other one empowers you to shake off the paralysis so you can keep your life moving forward. So why don't we dive in and unpack the 2 ways to transcend rejection, shall we? Okay, number 1, you must intentionally build resiliency. Now, by resiliency, I'm referring to the bounce back factor. If you want to bounce back quickly after being rejected, you must maintain an attitude that supports resiliency. Let me share something I figured out that changed everything. I can only be truly rejected if I own the rejection. Let me say that again. It's only truly rejection if you own the rejection. And that's because rejection at its core is you rejecting yourself. Okay, that probably sounds a bit strange, so let me explain. When someone rejects you, how you feel about the rejection is directly related to the story you tell yourself about the rejection. If you have a negative, weak attitude about yourself, getting rejected causes you to think negative things about yourself. Maybe things like, oh, I must be unlovable, or obviously I am not good enough, or it always happens this way. Any of that sound familiar? But let me ask you, are those kind of negative stories that you tell yourself really true? No. I have found that my negative reaction to rejection is a direct result of how I perceive my value and my self-worth. So, if you want to stop being a prisoner to negative thoughts, you've got to tell yourself a different story, a more positive story. You must challenge any false perceptions about your self-worth and intentionally commit yourself to daily practices that build your self-esteem. When you build your self-esteem, you create a better attitude about yourself. And that's the attitude that supports resiliency. All right, once you bounce back from that initial shock of rejection, it's really important that you keep your life moving forward, which brings us to the second way to transcend rejection. So number 2, you must purposefully move forward after rejection. And in the words of Winston Churchill, it is the courage to continue that counts. I don't know about you, but when I'm paralyzed from rejection, it feels impossible to move forward, which is why you must have an effective tool that you can pull out of your toolbox when you get stuck. So let me give you one of my favorite tools. Do something else. You have got to get your mind off the rejection, and doing something else is a great way to get some distance from it, and it also gives you the time you need to grieve. I don't know, do something fun. When I do something fun, that always quickly changes my focus. Maybe I'll do something with my friends, or I can go get that book I've been dying to read that's not work related, or just a quick trip to the beach or to the mountains. Anything you do that's fun for you, do it. It is amazing how this changes our focus and helps us shake off that paralysis. Here's another tool. Don't let rejection control you. Dwelling on rejection will only make you unhappy. Sometimes things just don't work out the way we want them to, and that's okay. Just because something doesn't go the way you wanted it to doesn't mean you're a total failure or that nothing is ever going to go well for you again. You know, for me, when I'm in that place of rejection, I realize that I'm dwelling on it, and by dwelling on it, I'm stuck in the past. And if I'm stuck in the past, there's no way I can enjoy the present. This is why it's really important to adopt optimistic and realistic attitudes towards rejection. And doing this is how you're going to be able to bounce back quickly and keep your life moving forward after you get rejected. So there you have it, 2 ways to transcend rejection. Now I want to challenge you. I want you to think about how you're going to use one or both of the methods that we went over today the next time you face rejection. And you can let me know all the details of your plan by leaving a comment under the video over at CherylTruesdale.com. So, do you feel inspired now? If so, would you like to inspire someone? Someone you know who could use a little love, hope, and inspiration to brighten their day. Got someone in mind? Then all you need to do to make a difference in their life right now is simply share this video with them. I am truly honored that you joined me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV. Now, to make sure you get your regular dose of inspiration, just head on over to CherylTruesdale.com and sign up for email updates. That way you will never miss an episode. And remember, you are amazing. You do matter. And you most certainly do deserve to live a happy life that you love. I'll see you soon, my friend. Bye.